Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear first year student and BDS class, we are going to start with a new system of lymphatic tissue. Now, you all know that the lymphatic tissue is an important system complement with the vascular system. They are mainly concerned for immunity mediation and antibody production against the foreign incoming invasions in the form of pathogens. What is the definition of the lymphatic system? Is a part of vascular system and play an important role in the immune system, comprising of a large network of lymphatic vessels and associated lymphatic organs that carry a clear lymph. What is lymph? From Latin word lympha means water, the directly toward the heart. Also complement part of the immune system. So इसकी definition क्या हुई? Definition ये हुई कि ये ऐसा सिस्टम है जो कि along with the vascular system रन करता है पूरी बॉडी में, और इसका फंक्शन इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है कि इम्यून मीडिएशन में इसका की रोल है. लेकिन ये कैसे है बना हुआ? कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ नेटवर्क ऑफ लिम्फेटिक वेसल along with associated lymphatic organs. उसके साथ जो लिम्फ मूव करता है वो क्लियर फॉर्म में होता है, इन द फॉर्म ऑफ द फ्लूइड. वो क्या होता है? उसको कहते हैं लिम्फ. उसकी डायरेक्शन जो है अल्टीमेटली दे विल हैव टू ड्रेन इनटू द हार्ट. इट इज़ आल्सो ए कम्प्लीमेंट पार्ट ऑफ इम्यून सिस्टम. तो ये डेफिनेशन जो आपके जहन में होनी चाहिए कि ये वास्कुलर सिस्टम के साथ ही मूव करता है अलॉन्ग विद द होल बॉडी. Now, this is the slide of a general organization of a lymphatic tissue. On the right side, this is a histology of a lymphocyte, which is the unit cell in the lymphatic system. Now, you see and comprise of a large nucleus, much more basophilic in staining, the rim of cytoplasm at the side. So this is the whole of the cytoplasm almost filled with the nucleus, because it is the very active cell for the antigen presentation, ready to use during the foreign invasion by any types of pathogens. Histology is larger nucleus almost fill the cytoplasm with the rim of cytoplasm surrounding it. On the left side is the organization, anatomical organization of various lymphatic tissue. The lymph node in the cervical region, then is the lymph node along with the internal jugular vein. This is the heart. Now this is the spleen area, which is also important organ of lymphatic tissue. The thoracic duct, which is carrying the lymphatic from the lower limb over the thorax. The GIT lymphatics, lymph nodes in the iliac region. Then bone marrow is again a part of the lymphatic tissue. The lymph in the lower limb, lymphatic vessel also visible. So this is the general organization in this slide you see. Now what is the lymph? Now this diagram will tell you that the all body tissue are bathed in the tissue fluid, because when the blood circulates within the blood vessel, especially when it reaches the last terminal division of the arterial system, before it, that is the arteriole, the blood circulates then the capillary. So there will be a ultimate oozing according to the hydrostatic pressure, oozing of the transudate within the interstitial spaces within the cellular components. So these are the spaces, intercellular spaces, through which the fluid sometimes present due to the transudate coming from the capillaries. Most of the fluid, some of the fluid that is reabsorbed by these capillaries, but the remaining fluid that will be absorbed by the lymphatic channel, visible in this diagram by the greenish channel in this arrowhead is demonstrating. This is the venular end from where the capillaries pour their all the nutrients, especially the oxygen. So it is poured and then it is ultimately drained into the veins, where it carries the all the waste material from the interstitium toward the heart. So the remaining fluid present within the intercellular spaces that is then drained by the lymphatic capillary. This interstitial fluid remaining is called a lymph. The consisting of the tissue fluid consisting of diffusible constituents of blood and waste material from the cell. Some tissue fluid return to the capillary at their venous end. So in this diagram you can concentrate on this. इस पे आप गौर करें तो आपको पता चलेगा कि आर्ट्रियोल से जो ब्लड आया तो वो जब मूव करेगा थ्रू कैपिलरीज विद द हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर, some fluid they leak within the intercellular spaces, and this fluid then reabsorbed at the venular end for useful purpose for onward transmission to the heart. The remaining interstitial fluid which is left within the cell, that is diffused through the more permeable wall of lymphatic capillary, forming a lymph. So lymph is a remaining fluid present within the interstitial cell that is absorbed by the lymphatic capillaries. The lymph is a transudate from blood and contain some protein in plasma but in large amount. ये बात आपने याद रखनी है कि lymph क्या है. Lymph is a transudate present within the cellular spaces containing plasma protein but relatively in large amount. ये बात ज़हन में ज़रूर बिठा लें. ये कैपिलरी प्लेक्सिस है, ये कैपिलरी वॉल है, endothelial lining containing RBC moving from arteriole toward the venule. So there is these mostly sometime it is fenestrated. Mostly the capillaries are non-fenestrated, no fenestration present. So through and through, but fluid may permeate on both sides, from the interstitium toward the capillary and from the capillary toward the interstitium. So this is the lymphatic capillary. Now look at this is a larger in caliber, more loosely arranged endothelial cell having gaps in between the basal lamina. So the fluid can move freely from the interstitium to the within the lumen of the lymphatic capillary. So these flaps like structure, they help in the movements of the fluid within the tube of the lymphatic capillary. The lymphatic move to the lymphatic vessel. So this is the diagrammatic presentation to make you understand. What are the components of the lymphatic capillary? It consists of the lymph, clear fluid, then the lymphatic vessel. The lymphatic vessel pour their lymph to the lymph node as an afferent lymphatics. From the efferent lymphatics goes to the lymphatic organ like spleen, thymus, lymph node. Then component is the diffuse lymphatic tissue, for example tonsil, and diffuse lymphatic tissue present in the GI. So these are the major components of the lymphatic system. What is the function of the lymphatic system? Returns of the tissue fluid in the bloodstream. This is important because when the tissue is not absorbed, it will causing the non-pitting edema. What is pitting? Pitting means depressed on pressure is called a pitting edema, whereas the not depressing on pressure is called the non-pitting edema. So when there is a malfunctioning of the lymphatics, the edema will be non-pitting. It absorbs and transports fat and fat-soluble vitamin from the intestine through lacteals. So it is a very important function because the fats are absorbed, and fat soluble vitamins are absorbed from the GIT in the form of lacteals through thoracic duct. Kill the microorganism because it is the important component of a lymphatic system to kill the microorganism to produce the immunity against that in the form of immunoglobulins. ये इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन आपने याद रखने हैं. टिश्यू फ्लूइड को वापस ले आना और फैट सॉल्युबल विटामिन और फैट्स के एब्जॉर्प्शन में भी इसका वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है जीआईटी में. उसके बाद ये इम्यूनिटी मीडिएशन में माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म को किल करने के लिए और इम्यूनिटी डेवलप करने के इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन. तीनों फंक्शन आपने ध्यान में रखने हैं. द ओरिजिन ऑफ लिम्फ, द कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम पंप blood through its system, but it cannot return all the fluid from the body cell. ये बात याद रखें कि it is quite obvious. The cardiovascular system is a pump. It first pumps the blood through least capillary division, that is the arteriole, and then the capillaries up to the venule. All the blood circulates through the, but necessarily it is not taking back all the blood or fluid toward the heart. Some of the fluid that remain within the interstitium. 60% of the fluid drop in the cellular spaces that is drained by the lymphatic capillaries. Always remember, 60% that is remain within the interstitial spaces that is absorbed by the lymphatic channel. At this point, we are talking about the interstitial fluid. So pick the plasma, become tissue fluid. So interstitial fluid picks up plasma and becomes tissue fluid. The tissue fluid is then picked up by the lymphatic capillary. The tissue then is called as a lymph. तो lymph की origin आपको समझ आ जानी चाहिए कि it is a leakage, a transudate leakage from the blood capillary within the interstitium. 60% of it is drained by the capillary, lymphatic capillaries in the form of a lymph. चैनल्स क्या क्या बनेंगे, कहाँ से lymph आएगा. सबसे पहले lymphatic capillary तो मैंने आपको पहले बता दी हैं. Then the lymphatic vessel, which are a larger lymph caliber. Then they form the afferent lymphatic to the lymph node. From the lymphatic vessel, that is efferent lymphatic, to form the lymphatic trunk or regional lymph node. Then form the larger lymphatic trunk, that is the thoracic duct in the thorax. Then ultimately in the collecting ducts बनती हैं right and left, and they ultimately drain into the subclavian vein into the systemic circulation. Lymphatic capillary, larger lymphatic vessel, afferent lymphatic to the lymph node, efferent lymphatic vessel goes to the various lymphatic organs. Ultimately, they form a larger channel lymphatic trunks. Then the collecting duct in the form of thoracic duct in the thorax. Then ultimately drain into the subclavian vein into the systemic circulation. This is the channel through which the lymph circulate. What is the histology? The basic topic of this today lecture. इसमें क्या है, इसके दो components हम डिस्कस करेंगे. Unencapsulated, जिसे हम non-encapsulated भी कहेंगे. These are scattered, but they are well-known entities of the lymphatic organ. These are called as mucosa-associated lymphatic tissue. Mucosal associated lymphatic tissue, also called as MALT. On my this left side, this is a MALT, mucosa-associated lymphatic tissue. Non-capsulated, it may be present in the form of a solitary nodule, may be present in the form of a aggregated nodule, that is patches in the small intestine, lymphatic nodules in the vermiform appendix. इसमें scattered जो हैं वो भी नज़र आएंगे आपको GIT में, जब आप GIT डिस्कस करते हैं हिस्टोलॉजी में सेकेंड ईयर में, उसमें आपको वेरी वेल पता चलेगा. Then the next component second is the encapsulated. These are defined lymphatic organ, for example thymus, lymph node, spleen and tonsil. These are well encapsulated, well defined According to region, they are located. Thymus in the neck region. Lymph nodes are variable in all the region of the bodies. Then the spleen is located in the abdomen, solitary organ. Tonsil are bilateral, present in the oropharynx. So, according to location, they perform important functions. अब हम बात करेंगे हिस्टोलॉजी की कि lymphatic capillaries क्या हैं. The histology of lymphatic capillary, they begin in the tissue where they form a network, interstitial fluid. Blindly, इसका कोई एंड ऐसा नहीं होता कि ओपन हो, blindly start होती हैं within the interstitium. The structure is basically similar to that of blood capillaries but has the greater permeability. इसमें वही एंडोथेलियल लाइनिंग होगी. एंडोथेलियल लाइनिंग जो है simple squamous epithelium, but it has a wider lumen and the capillaries are permeable, fenestrated capillaries, larger in diameter. They are present within the interstitial spaces along with the blood capillaries which is carrying oxygenated blood. Look at the picture. So this is the the venule end, and this is the arteriolar end. Look at this, a capillary network, pinkish, almost all together, continuous capillaries moving, carrying the blood along with, ultimately drain into the venular end, which carry blood toward the heart. In between this interstitial fluid, you see there are the greenish beaded in appearance, lymphatic vessels. These lymphatic vessels are also present, but these are blind at one end. These lymphatic capillaries, they drain the remaining tissue fluid in the interstitium. So they will drain into larger capillary plexus, larger capillary blood, these lymphatic vessel, ultimately toward the lymphatic node in the respective region. Now this is the diagrammatic presentation of a difference between a capillary and the lymphatic capillary. Quite obvious. The blood capillary, continuous capillary, endothelial cells are tight junction between the two, no gap. RBC are present, lining by the endothelial cells. Pericytes are surrounding the basal lamina as well. This is the basal membrane, the basal lamina surrounding by the pericytes. Look at the picture, larger in diameter. Endothelial lining is there, but having gaps in between, so loosely arranged. Endothelial cell, so freely permeable. The basal lamina is anchored with the surrounding structure by anchoring filament. Look at the picture. So basal lamina is having present, but they are having anchoring filament to the surrounding because very fragile these lymphatic capillaries. So when there is fragility, so the patency of their lumen is maintained by these anchoring filament. ये बात याद रखनी है. The anchoring filament play a key role because of it gives the patency of the lymphatic capillary and it anchors the lymphatic capillary with the surrounding structures. So pericyte is the characteristic feature of a blood capillary. Now this is the lymphatic capillary. Look at the picture. The endothelial silent nuclei, they are widely apart. Basal lamina is there, yellowish. This is the almost collapsed form of an lymphatic capillary surrounding interstitial productive tissue with fibroblast. This is again some structure having the this type of luminal structure, but this is the blood capillary having RBC over there, but you concentrate on this lymphatic channel, larger in diameter. The endothelial cells, they are widely apart. This is the distorted lymphatic capillary in the diagram. This is actually stained. What is the larger lymphatics? The structure is similar to that of the vein, that is tunica intima, media, and tunica adventitia. You all know the three layers of the blood vessel, especially the vein. Tunica intima, media, and tunica adventitia can be distinct. But the elastic fibers are prominent and seen all layers because these lymphatic vessels are elastic in nature. So elastic tissue, elastic fibers are prominent in the all layers, media, intima, and adventitia. Media and adventitia contain smooth muscle arranged circularly. Circularly arranged smooth muscle in the media and adventitia, not in the intima. Intima is the endothelial lining. Media and adventitia is containing smooth muscle fibers. Numerous valves similar to those in veins are present in small and large lymphatic vessels and give vessel as a beaded appearance. यहाँ पे ये बात समझाने वाली है कि इसमें valves होते हैं and these valves are more numerous compared to veins. That is why lymphatic vessels appear to be sacculated or beaded in appearance. Sacculated or beaded in appearance इसका feature है. In the larger vessel में आपको नजर आते हैं. इस डायग्राम में आप देख लें कि beaded in appearance है, sacculation है. So this is due to the large number of these are the valves present within the vessels. This appear to be beaded appearance. Thank you very much. Your next lecture in the lymph node. Thank you all.